Hey there, Stampers. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. How are you today? Welcome into a new Teach Me Tuesday episode. Although it's not really a Teach Me day, I don't think. It was more just a little bit of an inspiration piece. So last week when I did my video, or actually I think it was Friday, I did a video about what I would select if I were to rejoin Stampin' Up! And take advantage of the starter kit that was on special for Celebration. And one of the things that I had said I would do was to select this this designer series paper and the coordinating cardstock that goes with this, as well as this stamp set for my starter kit, because I think it's a really nice starter stamp set, and it's great because it has images, it has words, and I used it a ton when it first came out, and it's kind of sat on my shelf since then. So after doing that video, I was kind of inspired to take that stamp set that I love so much and this paper that I had said would be perfect for, even though it's designed to be kind of babyish, it's got the blue and pink on one side and then the gold on the other. I had thought because of all the gold that it kind of led itself to a really fancy outfit or dress, or, you know, sort of stylish. So I thought I would pair these two things together, the stamp set with this paper, and this is what I came up with. So it's very kind of monochromatic in that it's a lot of vanilla. Like, I just used vanilla cardstock, and then the paper, which has the vanilla in it as well. And this is the end result. So let me walk you through this card. It's very simple, but I did pull out the watercolor pencils because I had also mentioned that I might get those in my kit if I were to start over again too. So let's go ahead and build this card from scratch. So you're going to start with a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock. You could score it in the middle at 4 1/4. With the regular cardstock, I find you don't really need to. So I just kind of fold it, match up the edges, and then I'm going to go ahead and crease it with my fingers. If you've got your bone folder handy, you can go ahead and add that as well. Next up we have, and you could use any of the patterns that are in that specialty designer series paper, but I am using this fun, looks like a leopard print to me. So that's why I thought it would be really cool for this card. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the front of the card. To get this for perfect mat like this, you're going to take a piece of cardstock, you're going to cut that to 4 by 5 1/4 to get that nice little mat here. So let me go ahead and add a little fast fuse on the back of this. And I think I've already mentioned this, but this stuff is retiring, I'm pretty sure. So if you love it and you want to make sure you have it for a while, you'll want to restock on that soon. And I'll be doing another Facebook Live video this week, or not this week, this month, on April 25th, on Wednesday, April 25th. And if you place an order this month before the 20th of April, you will get a set of the cards that I make live. You'll be able to get the card kits mailed to you so you can actually stamp with me that night. So, and I will release some information about what I'll be using ahead so that you can actually pull out the supply so you can go ahead and stamp with me. So be sure to use this month's hostess code, which I don't actually have handy with me at the moment, but I'll put it in the description of this video. It's April 2018. So if you're watching between the 1st of April and the 20th of April, you can go ahead and put that code in when you order, and you'll be able to get those card kits for free. All right, so next up, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a scrap piece of white, and I'm going to take the stylish little lady here. I thought this worked well with the paper. She looks very chic. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp her on this paper. Perfect. And then I took my 2-inch punch, my 2-inch circle punch, and put that in the center here and punch that out. And just because, you know me, I needed a little bit of upping the ante a little bit, so we went ahead and took the crumb cake sponge and the crumb cake ink, and I just inked around the edge a little bit here. Just a little bit. Perfect. Next up, I grabbed my watercolor pencils. These are so much fun too, and I played with them a ton when I first got them. As you can see, they're pretty banged up and loved here. You get 13 colors in here. So it's really, really a great value. There's one stuck in here. But I'm just going to use the yellow and the gray right now because I thought that worked really well with this card. So I'm just going to take my pencil, and I don't want it to be super dark, so I'm just going to lightly color over the dress in yellow. And I'm not pushing super hard right now because, like I said, I don't want it to be really, really dark. Just want to have a little bit of color. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not being super careful with this because I'm going to go over it with the blender pen, and that will kind of even it all out. I'm going to make this part up here yellow as well. Perfect. And we're going to add a little gray to the brim. Under here and under here. Perfect. So now if I bring that up closer, you can see that you can clearly see the coloring lines here. So I'm going to take my blender pen, which doesn't actually have water in it. It's a water-soluble solution that's in there. So you just want to make sure it's clean, which it is. When I rub that on the sheet, it comes out clean. And I'm just going to go ahead and just sort of blend that color. And you want to try not to go too much over the black ink from the stamped image because it will kind of bleed a little bit. So I'm just going to go right over the color itself. Okay, a little yellow here. And then before I switch to the gray, I'm just going to color that out. And then I can go ahead and color in some of that gray as well. Color that off. And there you can see now that it's got a little bit more of a blurred look. So there's no strong pencil lines in there anymore. And that was super quick and fast and easy to do. So it's a really fun, I find it so relaxing to color. So one of my favorite things to do. And I did something a little bit unusual. I went ahead and I taped this vanilla piece down on top of vanilla Starburst. I used the Starburst punch for this and punched that out in advance. And it layers perfectly with this 2-inch circle punch. So that was what I did here. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer those together with a little bit of adhesive. Put that down. Try and get it in the center. Not cooperating, my brain today. And then I'm just going to put this flat down on the card as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more tape to the back of this. And I'm going to put it off to one side here. And here comes the tricky part. It worked up perfectly in my sample because I stamped it first and then trimmed it down, but I'm going to really test myself and see if I can get this greeting right smack in the middle of this cardstock. So one thing you can do, which is great with the grid lines, either on the bottom of the paper down here, which you can't see, or since this is in the line, you can actually test if you have woodblock stamps. I was just talking about this with my friend Helene. This is a trick that I use, and she was using it in class the other day too. So it's a great little trick. But if you line the edge of the wood block along that bottom line and stamp, you can see if your stamp is mounted straight, which mine happens to be very, very straight, which is good. So now I know that if I keep the bottom of this stamp straight, that I should get it straight on the paper. My trick is I need to get the Gorgeous to line up right at the bottom. So I'm going to kind of slouch down in my chair so I can see where that is. That looks like it's a good spot for it. And I'm going to say a little prayer here, and look at me. Look at me. Not bad, eh? And now I'm Canadian too, apparently. So there you go. I've got my little stamped image, and I wanted to add that onto the card with a little bit of lift, so I'm going to use my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm once again using the edges, because I love to use those up. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of those along the edge of the paper. Peel those off. And I'm going to stick that right on here. And then just one final step to this. I don't know if you noticed it in the original, but I used my Wink of Stella. I'm just going to pull the cap off, and I just made any of the yellow areas I went over with the Wink of Stella pen, so it will have a little bit of shine and shimmer to it. Nothing, that never hurt anybody, right? So she'll be a glitzy girl. which I love. And I think it kind of pulls out the gold too a little bit. It kind of sparkles off that gold. There, perfect. Put that back on. Just another little tip too, I don't know if I've shared this in a previous video, but on the end of your Wink of Stella, it has a GL, which is glitter clear. You want to make sure when you're storing these that you're storing these upright, which normally I tell you to lay your pens down sideways, but these actually are best if you store them upright, and you want the glitter clear to be facing upwards. So you don't want this side facing upwards, you want this side facing upwards. So I have it in my little bin next to my desk, and that's how I store those. And you can see it worked beautifully. Well, hopefully you can. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in the video. I can't really tell. But hopefully you can. So there you have it. You have 2 quick and easy, super simple cards that I put together using the inspiration from last week's video. So you can find inspiration everywhere, and I hope you find that here with me each week. So I thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends. I would absolutely love that. And until next time, have a great week. Thanks so much.